Hey everyone, so this is another installment of my party makeup looks for this year, and I suppose it's more on the wearable side of, or wearable side even, of makeup looks. So it's really simple on the eyes, not that dramatic or whatever, but the lips are what's the focus of this look. So I think the eyes are just really simple to do. It's just a bit of brown and black liner in on the waterline to make it a little bit more sultry, and then loads of mascara, and then the lips are kind of two-toned but of the same colour. It's a really easy one to do, so hopefully you'll be able to follow it no problem and recreate it no problem for anyone who has any trouble with slightly more you know, complicated looks. But yeah, watch on to see how I did it. My foundation, I'm using the very end of my beloved Healthy Mix foundation by Bourjois. I really love this, and it was paining me trying to get the last bit out because it's just taken ages. Like there's just it annoys me when I see that wee bit left and I can't get it out, but I managed to get a blob of it out eventually. So I definitely need to replenish that. I think I'm going to be doing a video, I might do it after this actually, on my favourite drugstore foundations, because I'm absolutely loving drugstore foundations. Well, like the Bourjois one particularly, but I haven't really been using too many high-end ones recently. So for applying this, I'm just using a regular paint brush, like paddle paint brush. This is a MAC one. It was from a Christmas collection a couple of years ago, I think. But I don't tend to use these brushes too often. It's just because I'm going through a love affair with the more kind of kabuki type ones. But this really does do the job as long as you know how to use it properly. The trick is to just like paint it on with the side, and then you kind of use the tip, and that's how you blend it in. So it's not as hard to use as you would have thought, and I find it does maybe take a little bit longer, but if you use it correctly you can get a really beautiful blend with these brushes. And of course I never bring my foundation up under the eye area, like where that ring is. That's as far up as my foundation goes. Now my under eye area is so dark today, darker than normal, because I was out yesterday so it's always going to be a bit darker because of that. So I'm definitely going to need a good concealer for underneath and probably a highlighter today. But that's enough. I'm going to use a concealer just on my blemishes because I have plenty at the moment. So I'm just going to use my Dermacolor pot in Ivory and just use a little BH Cosmetics brush. It's for your eyeliner, but I find it's good for spot concealing. Any of those tiny wee eyelining brushes are really good for spot concealing because you can be very precise as to where you apply them. And then just kind of bounce my finger over it. The best thing to do really is to apply the concealer and then leave it on the spot without blending it in for about 30 seconds. And that way it really grabs onto it, so it's not likely to come off when you're trying to blend in over it. But I don't really have the patience to do that today. So I'm not really sure how this angle is going to work. I'm just trying a new angle with my camera, just to see if it might improve the lighting or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go back and see if I need any more concealer in a wee while just before I powder. I'm just going to do the eyes first before I get to that stage. Then for my under eye concealer, I'm just going to use my, this is the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer, even though the writing has gone off the front, but this is a good one. It's a really good alternative to the MAC Select Cover Up for price point, because this one's about €6 as opposed to the £17.50 you'll pay for the cover up here in Ireland. But I mean my MAC cover up is pretty much my holy grail under eye concealer, but this is pretty much the same thing. So there, it's brightened it up so well. I'm the number 2 in this, which is the light. I find if I tend to go for the palest concealers, they just don't cover the darkness enough, because I do tend to get quite dark under my eyes, especially if I haven't slept well, or if you know, I'm a bit run down or whatever. Okay, so for the eye, I'm going to use my Pixie Eye Bright Primer. I have a few samples of it here. There's a Pixie shop beside the Pro Store there in the MAC Pro Store in London on Fubert's Place. So if you get a chance to go into it, check it out because they have some lovely stuff. I had filmed a video on some of their products and then the lighting was just so bad I had to scrap it, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it again yet. So I am going to do that really soon because they have some really nice bits. And then for my base, I'm actually using this Fluid Line by MAC. Now, I don't even know if they still do it. I have this sample from when I was in London, and it's this guy here. It's called Rich Ground. I think they still have it, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's kind of like, say, Constructivist paint pot, but any like warm brown or bronzy cream eyeshadow would do the exact same thing. I'm just going to apply that using this is a BH Cosmetics eyeshadow brush. It really doesn't matter. Just any eyeshadow brush. You can use a blending brush as well, it would work just as well. And I'm just going to put that all over the eye and above the crease a wee bit as well. And then I'm also just going to put a little bit of that underneath the lower lash line. So I like to use these, I actually really like to use Fluid Lines as bases. Like I know they're meant for, they're cream eyeliners basically, but they work really well as a base. Because once they're set, they don't really budge. So it's really good for anyone who maybe suffers from creasing in their socket line, or you know, anyone slightly crepey lids who finds that most cream eyeshadows do move and crease and migrate on their eyes. And then I'm actually going to apply some black eyeliner now to the center or to the waterline. So apply it to your lower lash line or the lower waterline, and also tight line. I almost never do a look now without tight lining if I am using it on the waterline, especially if you have dark eyelashes like mine. But also it'll make your lashes look thicker if you tight line, which just means lining the upper waterline. Okay, so this is obviously going to be a really simple eye look, so it's going to be easy for anyone who, or maybe a good one for anyone who doesn't like to fiddle around with like eyeliner and stuff too much. So for my highlight, I'm just going to keep it really nude and neutral. I'm just going to use this colour here from my Pixie Cafe au Lait Nude Shade Wardrobe palette, which is this guy here. It's really great for neutral looks. This is like a matte colour, a bit like Max Brulee or maybe Mylar. So it's just completely skin colour pretty much, but I want it because it's not shimmery. I don't want shimmer in the highlight, but it's still a teeny bit lighter than my own skin tone, so it'll still add or work as a highlight. I'm using a MAC 275 angled brush. And then for the actual lid, there's actually a really nice brown in the same palette here that would work really well, but I just want to use this RCMA eye colour in the colour light brown, which is just this really beautiful light, which is just a really nice light brown but has a teeny bit of sparkle in it. I'm just going to use that to set the fluid line. You could just use the leave the fluid line as it is if you wanted to. I just wanted to put a soft brown over it. And then I'm going to get a wee bit of that onto just the same brush I used to apply the fluid line. Just put some of it onto the tip and work it underneath the lash line. So you're just basically setting the base that you applied. And you can extend that down a little bit just to smoke it out. And then with a blending brush, I'm going to put a little bit of the same colour above the crease line a wee bit. And then I'm just going to get a tiny bit of this, it's actually a blush by Sleek. And it's from their current Berry collection, which is their Christmas collection. Now this is very dark for my cheek. Now it does work, but I just have to be so careful for it. But it's beautiful. I love using these kind of colours on my eyes because they're red based. They work really well with green eyes. I'm just going to work a little bit of that into the crease. And then apply plenty of mascara. So I'm going to put this onto my top and bottom lashes. It's my Max Factor False Lash Effect mascara, which has this funny kind of brush. Now I hated this when I first got it, but like most mascaras that I end up loving, when I hate mascara, I'll use it once and then put it away into, like just leave it away for a few weeks. Or even, yeah, a few weeks, like not using it, so it's not like there's air getting into it much or anything, but I find that they just kind of mature a little bit or something by doing that, so they're not so glooby or gloppy and runny, and then when I go back to them, I end up loving them. Not all of them obviously, but some of them, and this is one of those ones that I find, I mean, I just think it gives a really nice effect to the lashes. So definitely that's a good tip. If you think you hate mascara at the start, leave it alone for a few weeks and then go back to it and see how you find it, because I'd say a good 7 times out of 10 it works for me. And I always run my finger along my lower lashes after I've mascaraed it, so that any clumps will be taken off and it's not going to transfer onto my lower lash line. Now for my eyebrows, I'm going to just run a little bit of this, is it Revlon? No, Rimmel kohl pencil, or not kohl pencil, eyebrow pencil in dark brown. Just to fill out any gaps or thin parts. And just filling in there underneath the arch a little bit, and then run it really lightly through the hairs. And as usual, I'm just going to put a wee bit of a clear mascara or brow gel through them. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in any more concealer onto my blemishes that I need. I think they're pretty much covered. I might do an updated skin routine video soon, because I've been battling like quite bad breakouts here for about 2 months now. Like I am kind of winning, but my problem is I pick, which can cause them to look a lot worse than they are. So for setting powder, I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in light, and just kind of bounce that over my face or my base. Now I blotted off any of the lip conditioner that was left on my lips, just so that it wouldn't contaminate the primer or like water it down or whatever. So I'm just going to apply some of my Prep and Prime Lip by MAC. The trick with this is to apply it slightly over the lash or the lip line, and then let it set for about a minute or so. You'll feel it gets a little bit tacky, and that's how it works, because it kind of gets a bit sticky, so it'll really grab onto the product you put on over it, and your lip liner or whatever. So I find if I use that primer and then fill in my whole lip with the lip liner and then apply my lipstick on top, it literally lasts the whole day. Like, it's ridiculous how good it is. So for lip liner, I'm going to use this Auburn Lip Crayon or Lip Pencil by MAC. It's just this beautiful deep brown or red. I'm mixing up all my words today. It's just this really beautiful deep red colour. And fill in the entire lip, and then just outline the outside as well. Okay, so that's kind of fine for the lip line there, but I absolutely adore this colour of red. It's just such a really luxurious red, like kind of velvety looking or something. It's totally overtaken. I used to always use MAC's Brick Lip Pencil, which is slightly brighter red, like it's a bit more blue based red or something, but this is just so much nicer, I think, so definitely way prefer it. And then for the lipstick, I'm going to use 2 different colours. I'm going to use this red one in the centre, and it's Revlon's Revlon Red. It's a cream lipstick in the colour 730. I'm just going to put that into the centre. So because of my braces as I go along, I have to like be really careful that they don't actually get onto the braces or onto the brackets, because they're white. So I just have to keep doing this trick to get any of the colour from the inside of my lips out, so that they don't rub off the lipstick. But to be honest, I'm just not really wearing lipstick too often nowadays with them, because my braces are quite low down on my teeth. It's a bit of a pain, and it hits off my lips a bit more. But anyhow, then for the outside of my lips, so this is kind of the fun part, it's just going to give it a bit more of a two-tone effect. I'm going to use this Sleek True Colour lipstick, and it's in the colour Cranberry, so it's a matte lipstick, which is good because matte is obviously good for contouring with. It's just this really beautiful deep berry coloured like red based lipstick. Just going to use this, I don't know what lip liner it's from, but it's red, so it's quite fitting. And I'm going to apply this to the outside corners of my lips. Okay, so that gives enough of a look. You could go for something a bit deeper in the corner if you want, but I think it's nice when it's not so obvious as well. And then just to finish off the lips, I'm going to use like a sparkly red. Now I have a couple. I have this one here by Michael Todd in the creme glacé, and it's in the raspberry glacé or glace, which is that beautiful colour. And then I have this Coastal Scents Smacks lip gloss in Bohemian Orange. I think I'm going to go with the Bohemian Orange just because it's that little bit warmer. But I know MAC do a really similar colour. What is it? It's one of their lip glosses. I think it's Power Surge. Yeah, I think it's Power Surge. Beautiful colour, very, very similar to these. So I'm just going to put this onto the centre of the lips. So that's the lips done. I just think they look so... It's just such a pretty effect. And then to finish off, I'm going to use that sleek blush again, which was this guy here in Fenbury is the name of it there, 749. So because it's such a dark colour, I'm going to use it more like a contour just underneath the cheeks. But it'll just tie the whole look in quite nicely. So that's pretty much everything done. I just remembered a step I wanted to do back when I was doing the eyes, so I'm quickly just going to apply this just to finish off. And it's just this Kohl. Kohl is an Irish brand here from Brown Sugar, which is a salon up in Dublin, and they do some really nice eyeshadows. So this is in Tranquility. I'm just going to apply a little bit of that to the inner corner of my eye. Just gives a teeny tiny bit of a lift. And that's it. So let's take my hair down. So this is the finished look. I decided to keep my hair really sleek since it would just kind of go well with the makeup when it's quite sophisticated. And it's a really easy one to do pretty much because you're not fuffing around with liner or whatever, like I said before. So I hope you liked it, guys. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll chat to you all really soon. Slán!